to Sex Education, and my name is Chimose Henry Ahonaya. Welcome to this episode of Sex Education, where we'll be talking about condoms and bareback sex. And today I have with me, as usual, host of Qrealtalk, Marvelous Kelechi Achafo, and I also have the Qrealtalk Johnson. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Thank you very much for having us.
So today we are going to be having a very interesting conversation about condoms. And I just have some history. The first condom that was ever made from my research was made in, just give me 1 minute, I'm trying to remember, I think 1855. It was made in 1855. So condoms are not new to us. Condoms are not just like emerging into the 21st centuries. We've had condoms, we've had different varieties of condoms. We've had condoms from animal remains, we've had condoms from treated linen. We have the most popular condoms, which are the rubber condoms. Our question today is, why is it that condoms are not still used? It's like difficult for people to use condoms nowadays. What is stopping people from using condom? Welcome, the life of Michael. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Please, if you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us for Twitter, if you're watching us from YouTube, thank you for watching us, or thank you for joining rather. And please remember, you can always comment. This show is a people-oriented show, so we are going to be reading your comments. You're going to be sharing your comments. Please join in this conversation. So my first question goes to you, Mr. Achafo Kelechi Marvelous. Why are people not using condoms in our days? And why is your hair white?
I don't know. I don't. If I don't know, I'm looking like an old man today. But I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's the new cream that I just kind of applied to my face. So I don't know.
Cream on your hair?
I'm surprised too. I don't know. I'm just looking white everywhere. Even my beard is looking like an old man. But I love it. I love it. Maybe this will be my new look. So speaking into the topic, for me, I feel like, why do people have it for? They have it for because raw seems to be the sweetest these days. It seems to be the way to go. It seems to be the what's the word? The sweetest way to have it. So I tell people that that's the reason why people go. And because some people have become, I think that that's just the main thing, the biggest word that they will tell you. They will tell you, I want to do it for, because when it's flesh to flesh, it feels more intimate, it's much more sweeter, it's much more, that they enjoy it more rather than why they do it with a condom. That's what I feel. That's the reason why most people they go over.
So we have a comment that I would like to read from Emmanuel Welts. Let's join the stream back. Sorry, I forgot to switch back. Condoms is good for the sake of safety, but raw is sweeter. Hence, people are not using condom. But the end of not using condom is destructive. Daquan, what do you have to say?
How is it destructive? That's a lie.
That question goes to Daquan. Let's Daquan contribute. You have spoken, Mr. Chafo. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's always destructive, but not just for gay men, but, not using condoms can end up with STDs or pregnancy or anything bad. Yeah, but I mean, I agree. People do like raw sex better because it feels better.
Okay. Mr. Chafo, you cannot contribute.
For me, I just wanted to add that. Why do you say that it's destructive, or you use the word destructive? That's a lie. It's not destructive. It depends on the situation you are using it for. So I tell people that, please, if it's not a intimate partner with you, if you're a partner, you are together, it's a monogamous relationship or a monogamous relationship is the word. Let's use the word relationship. If it's a monogamous relationship, you are your partner alone. Then why are you using condoms? Why? I don't understand.
Because,
Why do I
like,
use
in some situation, you may be loyal to that relationship, for example, but your partner may be promiscuous.
That's why I said in a monogamous relationship, your partner is polygamous.
The truth of this day's relationship. The truth of this day's relationship is that you alone may be monogamous or whatever that word is. You alone could be monogamous.
Yes.
Monogamous, whatever that word is. But at the end of the whole day, you may be in just that relationship alone. Please forgive my Igbo tongue. My Igbo tongue was
Thank you
always
very, thank
are
you very much. And like I said
monogamous.
again,
Yes,
and
but
like I
wait,
said again,
let me make my point before you come in. But at
okay,
at the end of the whole day, or your partner may just not be, promiscuous. Maybe he may have a fling, and from there he might be infected, or he doesn't even know when he's infected with an STDs. And not far from STDs, there could be urinary tract infection, STIs that he could, get from, using public washrooms and public places. Which is why it is always good to one, use condoms just to protect yourself, because at the end of the whole day, your own life should be your safety should be your priority. You can go on, Mr. Chaffo.
thank you very much. For me, I would just like to add and say that, see, in having it, like I said, I was saying again, so I was ended at the monogamous, but 2 minutes that made me lose my train of thought. So the monogamy, if you are monogamous and you are with a polygamous person, that's not monogamy. That is polymonogamous or polyamory, or I don't know what to call it. That's a different setting. But if you are with somebody and you are together, two of you are committed to each other. That is called monogamy. When you are in this kind of relationship, and there is no use using a condom should be in the history. But when you don't trust
So
your partner,
wait. Why is
can I let
why
me? Ah,
go on, conclude.
see,
Wait,
thank you.
what were
Like
you
I said
about to
again,
ask, Henry? What were you about to say?
Now I was about to say, why will you not use condom in a monogamous relationship?
thank
Well,
you very much. Let me know. Okay, Don, go
I feel
ahead. Don.
like maybe when you're dating or maybe when you're talking to somebody, like it's good
Mhm.
to still use condoms because you guys don't have ties yet. But I feel like if you're going to strictly be with one person and you know they're clean or you know they're not clean, that would make a difference to whether you're going to use condoms or not.
Thank you very much, Don, for explaining that. That's what I'm trying to see. Because even me, I will feel very awkward if I'm in a relationship with someone and the person is telling me, well,
Yeah.
let's use condoms, and I will tell you, use condoms. Man.
But
We are
I
intimate.
would only do that like if my partner told me I have HIV or I have herpes or I have something that makes you have to wear condoms when we have sex. So
Even if you
that's
have
when I would
HIV, I
use
can't
condoms.
wear condom. If you have HIV, I can't wear condom because I will force you to get treatment. Once you get treatment every time, if you're getting your treatment regularly and very steady, then you're not going to infect me. You're never going to infect me. I would want to use PrEP, but you should be the one using your drugs. If you use your drugs well, you become you is equal to you, which is undetectable, equals to
Well,
untransmittable. So you can't infect me if you use your drugs.
true, but a lot
But
of
I feel my safety is my priority, darling.
true, yeah.
I
Oga,
first and
safety.
foremost,
If
first
your
and
partner
foremost,
me
mistakes.
becoming partner with you, me becoming a partner with you, or me become coming to a relationship with you, I should make you better. If you are not taking your drugs regularly before, I should make you take them regularly. And in taking them regularly, you become undetectable. And when you become
That is
undetectable, you
amazing.
can't
That is
affect me.
amazing
And that
if
is a
we
good thing.
get partners like you. But if we don't get partners like you who don't
Then
encourage
why are
them
you
to
in a
take their
relationship?
drugs,
Why are you in a
everybody is
relationship?
in a
Leave.
relationship for
But
different
Leave.
reasons.
Okay, then
it
you
could still
that,
happen. Like it could really, even if he's undetectable, even it still happens. Not commonly, but I agree with Henry. You still want to protect your health and protect yourself. Like, you still want to be safe.
Let's read a comment from the Life of Michael. Life of Michael say, well, for me, I enjoy sex raw. Michael, why do you enjoy sex raw? What is so special about bareback sex? Is it not still the same sex? Sex not sex, as my people they talk am.
it's not as if anything is special. The best form of sex will still be protected sex. It's still like, sorry, the safest form. Sorry, the safest form of sex is still protected sex. Because I tell people that some people that their lives now have been destroyed when they could have just won a condom for a 30 minutes pleasure. Some of them say even 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Some of them was a quickie, but they got on untreatable or incurable infections and they have to live with all their life. Somebody else destroyed, shattered their dreams, shattered their future. There are even some countries they can't travel to because there are countries that are very, very, what's the word? They are they have phobia for all these uncurable diseases. Countries like Cyprus, countries like even the Arab nations. When you are coming into the country and you test positive for HIV or all these incurable diseases, you are most likely to be denied a visa if they check your health records. That's how bad it is. So some people they've lost that. What's the word? Their dreams shattered. So what they could have gotten one a condom for just the 30 minutes pleasure. But I tell people that please and please, despite the fact that you are having if you are in a relationship with somebody, because some people are saying, why are some people doing if you let somebody, then it's safe to do if you check that person, know that person is strictly for you. But if you are the type that hooks up and down, you are busy hooking up and down, please and please, two things first. First, get prep. Prep is very, very needed if you're HIV negative, to protect yourself in case, sometimes we always say, oh, I don't fuck without the condom, I don't this, but sometimes you don't know when the devil comes to play, or when you get used, or when your honiness konji. Like some people say konji is a bastard. You might go to somewhere and the person might say, I don't have condoms, and because you like that person so much, you say, okay, let me just do it like that. Don't there's some people, like some people
Even
will
though
say, they will
you
say
are
no.
horny, the first conversation you're supposed to have before having sex is about STDs and STIs.
Some will tell you, they will tell
I
you
know
negative.
some
Is there
people
anybody that
lie.
will tell you
I
positive?
know say some people.
Oh,
I know
everybody
that some
lies.
people lie. But
Everybody lies. Everybody
tell me, not
lies.
everybody lies.
Not
Some people are honest.
everybody.
Everybody
Not
lies.
everybody lies.
Those that are
Just say you
infected, though,
lie or you're used to meeting liars.
everybody
No, not
lies.
everybody lies. There
Chimereze,
are sincere
Chimereze,
people.
have you gotten gonorrhea before?
Yes, I have. It's an
Have you gotten
STD.
syphilis before?
Yes, why?
How long did it take
Why?
you to treat it? How long did it take you before you treated it?
I do like a regular checkup every 3 months.
Everything. Do you know the
Yes,
gonorrhea is
darling.
still hiding in your bone marrows?
No, darling. You need to do a
The
regular
gonorrhea might be
checkup.
hiding in your bone marrows.
See, stop asking me personal questions on air.
That's what I told you.
But,
Oh,
but,
oh, now
but,
you know that they're
but,
personal.
but,
Now you know
but,
that they're
but,
personal.
but
This
I
is the same
didn't
way I'm
lie.
telling you
I
that
didn't lie.
everybody
No,
lies.
the same way I didn't lie is the same way
Chimereze,
most
Chimereze, you
people
could
do
not
on
be,
air.
you were trying to prove a political point on sex
Can I
education.
say
That's why
something?
you answered those questions. Say something.
Can I say
Please
something,
go on,
Marvelous?
then.
Please say
There's
something.
already like I feel like, and no offense to anybody, but I feel like people who have like HIV or some like an STD you can't get rid of, there's already a stigma on them, like there's something bad, like there's something wrong with them. So it's not always super easy for someone to come forward and say, yes, I have this. If they're scared they're going to be judged or shunned by the gay community or shunned by other people because of something they can't control. And I don't think that's fair. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm saying, like, you're saying people lie, but some people just aren't super vocal. They're private. Like, they're not just super vocal because they don't want to tell their business because they're going to get judged or, people aren't going to want to have sex with them or whatever, but I'm just saying.
And that's the honest truth, because there are some people who are closed-minded, you're getting, or people who just want to know for knowing's sake. The most embarrassing thing is that most times when people disclose their sexual health to people use it to judge them, and you always say, oh, sorry, darling, don't worry, I don't feel like, I'm not in the mood anymore. So people don't want to tell people because of those reactions and because of people who are closed-minded. Because at the end of the whole day, these are important conversations you're supposed to have with people. And even though we don't like to say it, one or half of the queer community must have had one type of STD or the other. Even as a sexually active person, you're going to have STDs and STIs. But the thing about having STDs and STIs is that you still need to go for your regular checkups. Make sure it's either 3 months, within a space of 3 months or 2 months. I prefer the 3 months because I hate needles, but 3 months to 2 months is a reasonable space so that you can know what your sexual health is, so that you not be transferring STDs to people. And unknown STDs can become serious terminal diseases, and they could escalate to something else, which before you know, you start having rashes on your skin, having spots, you'll be using bleaching cream, using lightening cream, having weakness or fatigue. You don't know what is going on because you have an untreated STDs. Before you know, you could even become impotent from STDs. So it is important that you keep on going to your regular doctor, your home, your family doctor, and treating these STDs. It is not a shame. It is not something we should be ashamed of. Let me put up the comment. It is not something we should be ashamed of. It is something we should become comfortable talking about, so that people can become comfortable talking about it. Have this conversation. Be matured when having this conversation, and don't use it to shame people. Because most of us who even contract STDs and STIs, we don't go about hopping from bed to bed. It was just different instances. For example, You could get syphilis just by even, you know, having a BJ. You could get gonorrhea sometimes just from blowjobs. So it must not necessarily be penetration. You know, some people be like, oh, I haven't had penetration sex, so I don't have a need to go to the doctors or to do a regular STD or STI checkup. Please do a checkup even if you have only been indulging in oral sex, because these STDs can be transferred from persons to persons just by oral sex. A second thing to also to keep in mind is that when you go to the doctor, you discover you have an STD. I beg, and they use God beguna. Let me speak this in pidgin English and in English. And they use God beguna. There are some people who go doctor, chicks say they get STD, and when they get this STD, now they sleep with everybody so that they will share. So that they go share the STD, give the whole community. Please, when you go to the doctors, you discover you have an STD or an STI, please stop indulging in sex until you have completed your treatment. I am begging you in the name of God. Don't share it to the whole community. Don't be sharing it before you know everybody, because this community is a small community. You'll be so surprised how everybody will be in the STD and STI clinic in 2 weeks because of one person's carelessness. Any other thing to say? We cannot hear you, Mr. Achafo. Your audio is out.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, thank you very much. And I said for me, the most annoying part is that people that end up sharing this STD and they think that they are doing other people, they're actually doing themselves. Because when they finally now get treatment and now get treatment or cure themselves from this STD, then because of people that they've infected before, the cycles they've infected, one of the people they infected to will not give them back the infection. And one thing about STD is that once you have the infection, it comes with much more tougher infection cells. So it's harder to treat and much more dangerous when you get infected. So that's one bad thing that they don't know. They don't know they're actually killing themselves, because if any of these people that you've infected in the past comes and infects you in the present or in the future, then it becomes a big deal for you, much more a bigger deal, as the word we say, for you. So that's one foolishness that these people that go about doing it don't even know. Even as far as HIV, if you go and infect other people with HIV, you might get to a point where you infect somebody, the person does not even know. The person refuses to take drugs, and the same person sleeps with you. You thinking that, oh, because I'm HIV positive and it's nothing, and you're on drugs. The person comes and infects you again and messes up all the long time drugs, all the undetectable status you've gotten. The person just comes and destroys all your drug, your medication, this thing, that you've been able to suppress the virus. So that's one foolish thing some people don't know, because I've seen people that say, oh, I have HIV now, why am I using condoms? And I'll be like, this one, you don't know what you are doing. Even when you are HIV positive and you keep getting other STIs, they come very, very hard and very, very tougher. And if somebody infects you with HIV again, it becomes a big deal, because it's like you are getting infected again. And
It's a new infection.
A new infection, and it destabilizes all the treatments that you've gone for, all the HIV treatment you've been doing.
So
It just sends it back to zero.
A new infection will weaken your already weak immune system. Please forgive my tongue today. Yeah. So
Yeah.
go on.
No, yeah, that's true. That's just how I just had to just add that earlier. Community members need to start having sense.
We have a comment from Emeka Ike. I think we still have some from the life of Michael. We have one that says, let me go back. He says, Shimereze, you are very funny. Thank you. We have another one that says, raw sex is the best for me. If it's best for you, life of Michael, hope you are taking precaution on either being on PrEP or knowing the status of those you're sleeping around with. It is very important. And also checking your body to see if your body has changed, if you're having any leakage of in your genitals, in your penis, if you're having whitish substances coming out from there, if you're having rash, itchiness around your penis or around your body. Make sure you go for checkup so you don't transfer these STDs or STIs to other people. And again, because STDs and STIs are something you cannot control, no matter how safe or whatever you take, you're still gonna get STDs and STIs, especially syphilis and gonorrhea, which is common among queer people, which is something we need to embrace. This is something we don't need to be ashamed of. This is something we need to start discussing so that we can fully say, this is what I have. Go to the doctor, treat it if you have it, and make sure you follow your prescription to the very end. If you're giving antibiotics tablets to take, if you're put on injections, make sure you complete your injections. There are some people who will take the first dose of antibiotics and never show up again. There are some people who will take at least 2 treatments and then boom, also on your baba, you do not come back again. Please go back, complete your treatment. It is dangerous having half treatment, because if you don't complete your treatment, the virus will become stronger and they will become resistant to the tablets and to the antibiotics you're taking, and you may not get a cure. And that is the same thing for being reinfected. So if you had it before and then you get infected again, the viruses come back stronger. And there are some new, like there's a new phase of gonorrhea now that is in, let me say, in the city of Toronto. The doctors told me the last time that are antibiotics resistant. Now they have to be given injections concerning those antibiotics. Please, at the beguna, I don't know which one that they sleep with. Please, whatever you are sleeping with, that is really this dangerous new variant of STDs and STI, or whatever you're doing. That is why I don't like 3-sums and 4-sums and 6-sums and anything sums, because that you don't know who is carrying what and what is carrying who. It is better you indulge in a monogamous, that is something that they call a monogamous relationship, a relationship of one man, one partner, which is the most healthy and safe relationship. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next comment. I can't allow my boyfriend to use condom on me because I'm not going to enjoy the sex. Let's talk about not enjoying the sex when using condom. What is it about using condom that makes the sex not enjoyable?
Feels good to me.
Marvelous, what do you have to say?
One
Is it not still the same? Is it not still the same size of, cucumber? Is it not still the same stroking? What is so much different with having just a piece of protection over you?
Yeah, you don't even feel it.
There's absolutely nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Even like I said again, and I'm still going to be repeating it again, because in case they did not hear me clearly the first time, protected sex using condom is the safest way, the safest, the most effective.
We already know that part that is safe. We are talking about the enjoying of the sex, please.
Of having sex. Now, the enjoyment part that makes people not to have it, especially in this case of Life of Michael channel, like he said his boyfriend, and his boyfriend is supposed to be someone that is intimate with. And I want to agree. I think that Michael should be monogamous. Imagine being Michael being monogamous and having a BF that you're supposed to be together, and yet every night or every time they want to have sex, you will put on a rubber to go inside. Michael is going to feel like, yo, what is it? Don't you trust me, or should I not trust you? Why
so
are
you
we
are
this?
saying
You are just
that
like,
protecting me from having STDs and STIs is not of importance to you as my boyfriend, knowing that STDs and STIs doesn't just come from only sex.
What does it come from? I want to know.
It comes from having penetration sex. It comes from other types of mingling. You could not be in.
Is it not sex?
You may be in a monogamous
Is it not still
relationship.
sex?
You may still be
No, is it not still
kissing,
sex?
hugging, having oral
Is
sex
it not still
with
sex?
other people.
So hugging will give you gonorrhea.
That is not the point. The point is that things do happen. The hugging, you don't get gonorrhea.
Things do happen, and I say it again. For the things to happen, that means you have a BF that is not faithful. I don't think Life of Michael's BF.
I don't feel like wearing condoms, wearing CDs should be a form of slut shaming, because right now you're telling me that because I want to use condom in my relationship, I must be promiscuous. It's supposed to be the other way around.
It's not about being promiscuous, but that's what you can imagine. Even me too, I will imagine it. Imagine me and you being intimate. We have together ourselves together forever.
You wear a condom.
Are you asking me? I will ask you. I say, are you a joker, or are you a comedian? Or when did you join AY Life and JP Kai Fighter and comedy? That's what. That's what I'm going to ask you.
I feel if you're my partner, you'll be more interested in my safety first. And knowing that condoms are the safest way for us to have sex, what is the issue? Why are we two using condoms? Why should it be a big deal? What is, since you're still going to feel the same pleasure with or without the condoms, but you're going to protect me?
Chimeleze, for everybody, you can't say the same pleasure. The same way some people tell you that until they spank somebody, they cannot have pleasure in sex. Some people tell you until they choke somebody, they can't have pleasure in sex. Some people tell you until I come inside the person's mouth, I can't have pleasure in sex. Some people say until I come into it. So everybody has their own definition of pleasure. We have what defines our own pleasure. What I'm trying to say is that for some people, especially for those that are even in a relationship, it's much more understandable. When you're in a relationship and you tell me I do not like to have uh, protected sex, it's much more understandable. And I will tell you that work with your BF to make sure that you guys get to a point whereby you don't have to use protection anymore. But it's when you are sleeping around, that's when it becomes the problem. You sleep with James on Monday, John on Tuesday, Chibuka on Wednesday, Ebuka on Thursday, Femi on Friday, Chinwetara on Saturday, Agu on Sunday, Stefan on Monday again, James Brown on Tuesday. Then that one, you know that one, that one, then that one, you know that one, you even need the, not only do you need the condom, you need to be disinfected. Any day when you go home, before
sometimes you may
sleep.
be in a relationship where you don't know the person's status or the person's STDs
Then that means you are a fool. That means you are a fool.
No,
Sorry to say you are a fool.
Let's not insult people. Let's
That person, I'm not insulting
in
people.
a
I tell you,
relationship.
the person is
Wait,
the biggest fool.
hold up. Let me speak. There are sometimes you meet people and people just trust people and they're in a relationship for maybe 2 weeks and they're like, okay, I trust you now, and I'm just going to. You and I know that most LGBTQ relationships don't even pass 2 months. Most of them. So you could be in a relationship for 2 weeks and you remove the condom and you don't know the sexual health of this person, and boom, that relationship is over. You are infected with an incurable diseases. Please, my dear, use condom even in the relationship. It is when the relationship is a year old and you can really testify. In short, we know that half of tops in relationship don't remain faithful to their bottoms because bottoms cannot always have sex all the time, and sometimes they
Where did you do your survey? Where did you do your survey? From where? Please, please. Every BTM I dated or every bottom I was with, whenever I wanted it, they gave it to me. Twice a day, thrice a day, 4 times a day. It depends on you at the top. Can you turn your
bottom
BTM?
must have been a bottom that was jumping from John to Mecca to Emmanuel
That's
to everybody.
That is a lie.
That bottom is a wild bottom.
I can beat my chest.
I'm pretty sure that bottom,
because you don't have stamina.
You can put a shark inside and bring out the shark.
No, because you are a weakling. Because you are a weakling does not mean everybody else is a weakling. And when you tell people that when you advise people to be in a relationship, people in the relationship, when you advise them to use protection, and I wonder where is the place of trust?
Relationship is not
Calm down. Can I just land?
sex.
Can I land? Where is the place of where is the place of trust? Love doesn't cheat. Love doesn't lie.
Trust
Love
does
doesn't
not mean that
disrespect. Can I land? Can I land?
I just want to point that trust does not mean if you're using condom, the trust fades away. It's a lie. Trust means that even though that I know I trust you, you are still willing to sacrifice some things to make sure I am safe. Well, where are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much. How to judge this?
Can I say something?
Please.
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm responding to Marvelous, but I want to make sure I heard what he said right. So you're saying if you're wearing a condom, that could imply that you don't trust that person? In
a relationship, yes.
Okay.
In a monogamous relationship. Monogamous.
How do you know it is monogamous?
If it's not monogamous, Life of Michael, please type if your relationship is it monogamous or polygamous relationship.
Well, I don't necessarily. I can see why you would think that. I don't agree with that because I feel like how some people have STDs and they don't even know. Like it'll be dormant in your body, or you could be a virgin and mess with one person and get something and not know and not be promiscuous and then get in a relationship and then it just pops up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't think that means I don't trust you. I mean, I just feel like it's safe. It's just safe. Like, I don't feel like that's like, oh, even though you're telling me you have nothing, I'm going to use a condom because I think you're lying. But even though we both know we're clean, just in case let's be safe. That's how I look at it.
Thank you, darling. That is how I look at it the same way. But unfortunately, Marvelous has frozen. I hope you come back as soon as possible. I'm just going to read a comment. Or don't you want to read a comment from?
Thank you so much, Life of Mike, for that compliment. I appreciate it.
Do you want to read the next comment
Okay.
from Emmy Welt?
He said, Emmy Welt says, because it's not just contracting HIV, there are other STIs, STDs, Marvelous. Apart from having a monogamous relationship, you could contract an STI, STD from elsewhere. That if you use condoms, you will be safe. That's true. That's 100% true because HIV is not the only risk factor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, not even just with gay men. You have pregnancy. You have women can get like diseases and pH balance thrown off and all types of things, you know. So condoms just make it easier for everybody, in my opinion.
And that's true because sometimes you may even be sleeping with a bisexual man, and a bisexual man may have both a male and a female partner.
True.
And
Yeah.
maybe for his female partner, he just goes in raw without condoms, and they're the same. Before you know, you could have STD. Not everybody, like we understand that most people want to be in a monogamous relationship, but at the end of the whole day, the reality is that most of us don't end up being in a monogamous relationship because things do happen. Let's read the next comment as we wait for Marvelous to come back. Beside, I don't have sex anyhow. Thank you for the life of Michael. Those are just your words, and your partner may not believe you, but sometimes going to the doctor's office will prove otherwise, because there are so many relationships or marriages where the wife say, I've never cheated on my husband, I've never cheated on my husband. They go for a DNA test. No. Johnny is not your son. Emmanuel is not your son. Ebere is not your daughter. So please, you could always say, we can always say, oh, I'm clean. Oh, I'm safe. Oh, I'm STD free. But do you have a bill of health to show otherwise? Can you show us your doctor's report? When last did you go for a test? When last did you do your HIV test? All these things are paper. Right now, people could say, oh, I'm vaccinated, but people are asking, show us your proof of vaccination. Show us your proof of a bill of health. If you are going to go rough, you're going to show me a clean bill of health. And even when you show people a clean bill of health, it doesn't mean they've not messed around in a couple of days, because STDs, it doesn't wait and say, okay, I'm going to wait 1 week before I start showing. I'm going to wait 1-2 weeks before I come in. No, it can be gotten as soon as possible. It is better to be safe than sorry. Marvelous, you are such a comment. I know, right? Marvelous just been cracking me off. Next comment. Some STDs and STIs are very stubborn. Marvelous, condom is very paramount for sex. I feel one reason why people, yeah, go on. Do you want to say something?
Oh no, I said I love that he used the word paramount. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel one thing that happens when people don't have sex with condom is that most people are allergic to condoms. Let's talk about having an allergic to condom, because we talked about the different varieties of condoms, right? And we talked about the animal before the 19th centuries. They had like the animal, I've forgotten, membrane of condoms. They have the linear condoms, but now the most popular condoms we have are the rubber condoms. And some people honestly, truly are allergic to rubber. So because of those allergic to rubber,
Latex.
if not that, latex. So if not that they are allergic to latex, they can't have latex in their body because of this allergy, and these are rare situations. But I feel like these days now everybody's like, oh my god, I'm allergic to condoms, I can't use condoms, don't put that thing in me. Like, darling, most of us are not allergic to latex.
Right.
Most of us just want to put ourselves. Some of us just want to have risky sex, and I feel like if that is your option to have a risky sex, that should be on you. But give people the options of choosing if they want to have a risky sex with you or not. Please don't lie about your STDs or STIs, because these are serious crimes, especially in Canada. If you are HIV positive and you don't discuss about this, I don't know why my face is so oily. You don't discuss about your sexual health with the person you're about to have sex, and it turns out that you infect them with HIV, you can even be in prison. So these are serious issues by law, depending on your place of residence. You need to have this conversation, not just because it is a law. You need to have this conversation because you are having new partners, new sexual partners, and you are entitled to tell them your sexual state of health before having penetration with them. Because again, remember, we are having annual sex, and annual sex, they can easily be a tear. If there is a tear of the annual walls, you can be infected with diseases immediately, not just a HIV, but other wax could come in, which is uncurable. You could also have annual cancer from that. These are one type of STDs we've not talked about. So there's annual cancer, there's annual wax. These are things using protections could prevent you from having annual cancer and from having wax. Don't you have anything to say?
Yeah, I'm also like some things, like herpes or syphilis or chlamydia, if I'm correct, are skin to skin. You know what I mean? So it's like, even with a condom, there's still a risk. You know what I'm saying? So without a condom, obviously, whether you're giving oral sex, having penetration, like you're at risk. But I just feel like that should be more reason for people to use condoms, even when giving oral sex or having sex, because some things, all it takes is just a kiss or a suck or a touch, and you got it.
Or a leak. Boom. For
Yeah.
syphilis, before you know, you've leaked the stuff, you've had syphilis. And that's how you just get it. And before you know, if you don't treat it, it gets into, so syphilis has a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. If you don't treat it between the stage 1 and stage 2, if it gets to stage 3 of syphilis, darling, you will be living with syphilis for the rest of your life. So, honey,
okay, wait, can I answer Life of Mike's comment?
Yeah.
He says, if I can suck dick with protection or suck cucumber with protection, then why can't I have it raw? Okay, so let me answer that like this. So if you suck someone up who has herpes, you will get a cold sore on your lip. But if you have sex with someone who has herpes, you will have herpes type 2, and you can't get rid of that. That is not something that is just a cold sore. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's important to wear even if you're giving oral sex, to wear condoms. Like, not a lot of things can come from oral sex, but don't think it's just nothing can happen from sucking, somebody up. So I think it's important both ways.
And again, accidents could happen. You could be sucking, and before you know, pre-cum, and you swallow the pre-cum.
Yeah.
Boom,
Or you have a cut in your mouth or anything.
It's in your system, baby. So we will still say it. Condoms are the best ways of having sex. Yes, you may not enjoy it as having a bareback, but you are going to be saving yourself a lot of stress, a lot of problems, a lot of doctor's appointments, reschedulings, injections, and antibiotics. Let's go to the next comment for Emmy Wells. I'll read it. Until you and your partner have been screened and constantly go for screening, both of you can do raw. If not, condoms is very important for sex. Don't forget that PrEP will not protect you against STIs.
Yeah.
This is another thing. People be like, oh, I'm on PrEP, so I'm free to spray the mountain. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free to try all. Before you know, Mr. Free Bed. Freedom comes with a lot of consequences. Forgive my Igbo tongue today. I don't know what is happening with my tongue. Please, Igbo tongue, disappear. So it comes with a lot of consequences, which we've talked about these consequences. And in rare cases, some people do actually honestly die of untreated STDs and STIs. Please don't think it is STI. So, I'm safe. I'm not going to go through anything. What is the worst that can come out? You could be impotent in the long run. You could also die of STDs and STIs. So treat them. Make sure you know your HIV status. If you don't know your HIV status, go to your nearby screening clinic, walk-in clinic, health clinic. Get a HIV screening. Get some free condoms. If you are in Toronto, the Hustle Free Clinic, like I always say, will always give you free condoms. If you go to the Toronto Public Health, you'll get some free condoms. I think if you go on Google and ask your Google where to get free condoms, she will be able to direct you on where to get those rubbers. Next comments from Emmy Wells. There are no doubt that raw sex is sweeter. We've talked about it. Yes, it's sweeter. Sex with condom is not as sweet as with sex. Sex with condom is not as sweet as sex without, I think, without condom. It's not safe having sex without condom. There are so many things that can come. And instead of you praying, you know, some people have sex without condom. And when they have sex without condom, they start praying, Father Lord, Father Lord, I not have STDs in Jesus' name. May I not have STIs in Jesus' name. My dear, Jesus will be looking at you from heaven and say, motherfucker, you are infected. You have an STI. You have an STI. So instead of you going to religious grounds, praying, doing countless deliverance, some people even go to the extent of, I know somebody who will go to the extent of lighting candles and say, oh, Jehovah Emmanuel, Jehovah Emmanuel, Father, hey, hey, hey. Instead of you going through all those struggles or looking for home remedy of how to cure STDs and STIs, you'll be drinking concoction upon ogogoro, you drink ginger, drink this just to remove STI. Go to the doctors, do a lab test, make sure you get that thing off your system if it can be gotten off. I think, Don, please read the next comment. I've been reading all the
so
comments.
the pre-price comedy says, I think condoms is very good during sex. Aside from protecting each other, it also makes it easy to penetrate and reduce pain, most especially when your boyfriend is huge. I agree with that.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, I feel like
I've just kind of feel with condoms. There is like frictions with condom. So I feel if you're going to use condom, you have to have a lot of lube. Like today, I was talking to myself. I was like, the three things that should be in a bottoms bag should be one, a dish bottle, lubricant, and a pack of condoms in your BTM bags. Then you can have your makeups, you can have your spray perfume, you can have your rings and jewelries and any other thing you want to put there. But the three things that should be in a bottles bag should be these three things. But for me, with this statement, I don't agree. I feel like with condoms, it's more painful. There's a lot of frictions. You have to be like, you have to make sure you have dish properly and you have a lot of lube in you so that it can go smoothly. And yeah. But anyways, everybody has a different opinion concerning this topic. Life of Michael, let's carry on. You just mentioned my local name, Ebuka. Marvelous.
it's so silly.
It's nice to know that Ebuka is your local name. I think we just have to be reading this. Don, I think you should read the next one.
Emmanuel says, marvelous, be conscious of your words tonight. I feel like, everyone has their opinion. I see what he's saying, but, everyone, is entitled to their opinion.
Next comment.
Life of Mike says, I only have sex with my boyfriend, and I promise him that I will never cheat on him. Well, I think what Marvelous was trying to say is, like, even if you're in a monogamous relationship and someone's promising you, he's saying, like, he does, you never know. You never know if someone's going to cheat on you or be promiscuous or whatever. Jamega Ata says, I think using condoms is very important during sex aside from... Oh, wait, we already read this one.
Yeah, we've already mentioned that. But I think everybody has a different opinion. But if you feel wearing condom makes it easier to penetrate and reduce pain, darling, that is, try it and see how it goes. But like I always say, make sure at least that you're on prep, the sexual health of the person you're having sex with, and do a regular screening.
Jamaica again says, I've never had sex with anyone without condoms. Be who you are, no condom, no sex. I feel like, yeah, that's safe. That's a very safe way to live as far as sexual activity. Like, that's very safe.
And we have one more condoms. Darling, you're free to join me in Toronto any day, anytime. The city is welcoming of African and African Americans. Just get your ticket, darling, and you'll be in TO as soon as possible. And good night, guys. Thank you, Life of Michael, for joining. Good night to you. Last comment from Life of Michael. I really enjoyed the live chat with you guys. We enjoyed having you. Before we call it off for today, I know it's just me and Don, but we do have some games, so stick around and let's dive into the games right now. So Don, over to you.
Okay. Hello again, guys. Today, relating to the topic of condoms, we're just gonna ask some general questions regarding condoms. Just having fun. Definitely, you guys post your answers in the comments, and we'll play along as well.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alrighty. So, I guess my first question is, what is your favorite brand of condoms?
I'll say Durex. Durex condoms are my favorite.
What is it called? T-Rex?
Durex.
Oh, okay, Dora. Okay, yeah. I like Trojans. Trojans are really good.
So why do you like Trojans?
I don't know if because they have ultra thin, and I just like them. I don't know. I just like them, and they come really lubed up. They come really slippery, and I like that.
I guess that's the same thing for Durex too, because you could have like the lubed up ones. You have like different varieties with Durex. I think the only reason why I like it is one of the first condom I was given to. I like their branding because of the purple.
Okay.
So I like the color.
Now I don't want to get too interpersonal with this question. J Mega says Rough Ride. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a brand of condoms?
Jimmy, is that a brand of condom? I think so. Maybe that's one of the brand of condoms in Nigeria or in Africa. I don't know.
It's America. Sorry. No, I don't want to be too personal with this, but have you guys ever participated in something with someone who you knew had something?
So we have another Rough Rider. So wait, guys, tell us, is Rough Rider a brand of condom in Nigeria?
Yes, I want to know.
We don't
I'm
know.
curious.
Like Rough Rider means so many things in our head right now. Okay. Rough Rider is a brand of condom in Nigeria. So in case you are wondering, I think Gold Circle was one I knew before I left. I don't know. Do they still have Gold Circle in Nigeria? If they still have Gold Circle, please comment it in the comment section. Let me know if Gold Circle still exists. Over to you, Taquan.
Oh no, yeah. So I was saying, like, have you ever done something with someone knowing that they may have had, or knowing that they had something?
How? What do you mean, knowing that they?
I'm saying, like, have you ever been in a positive negative situation, like someone who's HIV positive, or someone who says I have this, but you still chose to have sex with them or do something with them?
No, darling.
No. Okay. I've definitely kissed somebody who has been HIV positive. I've never went and had full blown sex though. So I mean that's interesting.
So what stopped you from having sex?
It just wasn't no chemistry between us.
The chemistry died after he told you about his status.
No. I don't judge people. It just the kissing wasn't there. He was biting my lip and almost bit it off, so we had to stop. He was trying to eat my face, so no, we had to stop that.
Got you.
Yeah, I don't mind. Like, I guess that's another question. How do you feel about positive negative relationships?
If I would like to be in one, no. But if I've already fallen with someone and I get to know the person is HIV positive, I feel having the conversation is the first step. Then being on PrEP, and making sure he takes his drugs and medication will be the second alternative. But like in a situation where it's hidden from me, that is when I'll call the relationship off, because I don't feel we should hide anything from each other. You're getting, but if the person is front honest with me, yes, we go on. Love is love. Like I'm at this point in my life where I'm more concerned about why you love me. if you're understanding and where you want this relationship to be with, head to rather, where you want this relationship to head towards. So if it's a relationship, I know we are both investing with so much sincere about each other, why not? But when you begin to keep secret from day one, I just feel there is no need, because we'll just be deceiving our both self.
I can oh, I'm sorry, what was the comment?
So Gold Circle is still much available and rebranded. I would like to see the new star of this Gold Circle. What did they rebrand it to Circle Gold? Go on.
I honestly, I'm gonna be honest, like I was very ignorant. I was very ignorant about people who were HIV positive. Like when I was younger, I just thought it was bad. I thought it was something bad. It took me maturing and growing up to realize, again, that's not something that's in someone's control. So I'm 100% for a positive minus relationship, because love is love. And you know what I mean? If you love that person enough, you're willing to do what you have to do to protect you and him, for you guys to make it work, because I believe love is love.
And today, the definition of HIV has changed. You know, before, back so many centuries ago, it was a death statement. But today, there are drugs you could take to suppress the virus. You could go from you to you and become undetectable. So I feel it is more of us getting the education we need about these viruses that will help us have an open mind, because people are always scared of what they don't know and what they don't understand. I feel more education will help this community. I feel also helping the community by not spreading it, because there are some people, because they've been infected, their mission is to spread it to others. I feel that we should know our own part. We should play our own part in building a healthy community, one by removing the stigma of people with HIV, accepting, being open to people infected with HIV, having the conversation, and just not just having the conversation about HIV. And you know, when you have this conversation, you know how you tell somebody, oh, I've had STD before, or I've had STI before, or I'm HIV positive. And then people are like, oh my God. That is when everybody begins to distance you. Everybody begins to look at you with a different, I feel we should not carry that type of mentality. Yes, it's going to take a lot of us sometimes to comprehend that reality. But if you have diagnosed, or you are diagnosed with HIV, that is not the end of the world for you. In short, I feel your pains, your anger should be channeled into your success, into your legacy, because if you have HIV or not, you will still die. If you are healthy or sick, you will still die. If you are 20 years or 80 years, you will still die. Sorry that I'll just say you still die, as if like it's not. But yeah, the most important thing is not how you die, it's not when you die, but it's how you truly live. That should be what should be on your mind. Did you just live, or did you just exist? Because there are some people that are going to live to 100 years and they will just exist, manage their life. Let me just deliver, and they will just exist for 100 years. But there are some people that may only live for 20 years. But the 20 years of existence, the 20 years of their life will be an all remarkable 20 years of their life. And it will change so many people's life around them. I don't know why we're having this spam message from our YouTube today. So final games before we close for tonight.
All right, a couple fun ones. Have you guys ever broken a condom? I'm so sorry.
Here's your reminder.
It's okay. Have you ever broken a condom in sex or before sex?
During sex, like, I would hope you didn't break it while putting it on, but like I'm saying, like,
no, there are some
during
people just
sex, has it ever broke or busted? Has that ever happened to you guys?
For me, yes, it has happened, but if it happens to you, pull it off immediately. Go to the washroom, wash the surface of your penis. That's all you could do, and go take the prep, the post prep, or the prep before 24 hours, if that's all you want to do. Go to the doctor, take that. I don't know what it's called. Is it post prep or whatever? But go take the prep before 24 hours to prevent HIV, and then you should be good. And secondly, HIV is a very hard disease to get, one. Secondly, because in developing countries, people are already on medications, people are already on PrEP, people are already, at a stage where the virus has been compressed. It is difficult for people to be infected with HIV, unlike developing countries, because homosexuality has been criminalized. People are hiding under the closet to have sex. There are no clinic they can go to when they have infections or after sex. So they don't even know what their HIV status is. They don't know what their STI and STD status are. So people don't know where to go to if they are infected with these viruses. And things like that makes the spread of HIV and STDs and STIs on the increase, unlike developing countries where things are legal. People could walk into the clinic without getting discriminated, without getting arrested, and get on treatment, get on prevention treatment, and have discussion forums concerning this.
Absolutely. I've never ripped or broken a condom, but not to be too personal, but when you have a tight backside, sometimes it'll grip it and snatch the condoms off, and that happens a lot with me. So yeah.
Well, at the end of the whole day, do what you're supposed to do to take. It's better, you take your preventive measures than just say, okay, this is what it is, so I'm gonna have it raw. But final words from you before we close for today.
Let me see. All in all, guys, condoms, it's PC, personal choice. But if I were to give advice, wear a condom. Like, be safe. You'd rather be safe than sorry. Don't, like, I don't know if Henry or Marvelous said it, but don't let 15 minutes of pleasure change your whole life. You know what I mean? So just try to be safe. Wear a condom. Try to get used to it. See what you like. See what your body likes, and yeah, just be safe.
Final word from me: have the conversation. Baby, when last did you get tested? I'm not trying to judge you. I just want to know when last you got tested. Be honest when answering this conversation. Be very polite. Don't ask them directly like, hey, I want to ask you questions. This, down the checklist. No, you're going to look like a weirdo in between of the chat. Just be like, I did my own HIV test last week. I did my own HIV test last year. I did my own HIV test 3 months ago. Just have that conversation. When are you going to have yours? If the person feels uncomfortable about talking about their health status, just say, okay, since you're not sure, let's have, let's wear a condom. And if they refuse to wear a condom, baby, they are still other alternatives. Make sure you're on PrEP. But like I said, HIV is not the only transmitted disease. There are still annual wax. There are still annual cancer. There are still hepatitis B that can be transmitted and which is uncurable. So please, darling, take your safety first. Be selfish about your sexual health and your health in general. And again, in these days, there's also COVID-19. So take the measure of protecting yourself. Have this conversation. If you need to talk to someone, I am here. The Kwan is here. You can search us up. Forgot to put our handles, but from next Friday we'll be putting our handles. You can search us up on Facebook. You can search me up at ChimeReze Henry Henry, Ahonaya AHUNANYA, and you can search the Kwan also. The Kwan, you want to tell them your hashtag?
So it's my Instagram is _DOMOKUNN Domokun. That's the best way to reach me.
And you can have a conversation with us. We would like to know if you need a support group, if you want us to have a support group where people can come in, talk about these things. Knowing that homosexuality is illegal in most developing countries, I feel having a support group will be the one way to help this community, not just for HIV, also for PrEP, also for what to do if an accident happens. Thank you for listening, and we love that you've been with us. Thank you, guys. Please make sure you subscribe to support our YouTube channel. Help us subscribe, share this video. Let us get monetized so that we can get more finance and help this community. All the money we'll get from these programs will be put back into the community, will be put back into the channel so that we can get a better viewing, so that we can get better programs for you guys, and so that we can help build up clinical facilities, support groups, and safe hubs in developing countries. And I remain Chimereze Henry Ahonaya. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.